Well, it's Driveaway 101, basically. I mean, you have to plan your route. I mean, if you plan your route the right way, check the weather reports, just kind of plan ahead and just really pay attention to what's going on and plan your route accordingly.
Welcome to Six Figure Trucker, the podcast where we share advice on how to be successful in trucking and have fun while doing so. We'll share stories, news, and advice on how to earn six figures in trucking, and we'll speak to guys and gals that are already doing so. Let's get to the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport, where we join you each and every week. And you know, it's a format, it's a platform where we elevate and celebrate the driver for all they do, making our company what it is and making the country's economy what it is for all the drivers who move these trucks all across the country. And joining us now is Peter Rizzo. Peter, where are you right now?
Currently in Colorado, enjoying a nice brisk morning.
What's the temperature out there?
Good question. Probably 60.
That feels nice, I'm sure. You know, taste of fall right there.
Hey, you're not kidding. Feels good.
Now, Peter and I spoke last night setting this up, and I think you were in Kansas making your way. Now, you're headed to Spokane, is that right?
That's correct.
You're in a Penske truck?
Yes, a Penske truck, a box truck.
Gotcha. Now, you were telling us last night, you kind of shared with us, you're going to Spokane, and you found a good airfare coming out of there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, basically, before I make my trips, I kind of do a little logistics review and kind of see, what the flights are, and found a pretty decent flight to Chicago for $170, which is not too bad considering the flights are very expensive these days with inflation and everything. So it's kind of really important to kind of get your logistics down, before you leave and, kind of coordinate for your next pickup. So that's what I did.
Now, tell us, what website did you use to find that airfare at that price?
Well, first I used Rome to Rio to see the exact, the exact way I should be getting out of a location. And then what I'll do is I'll transpose that over to like Priceline. Priceline's really, really good. If you can figure out when your drop off dates are, especially if it's a Tuesday. Tuesday's usually the cheapest time to get a flight, but sometimes you'll get lucky and find some cheaper flights on some of the days that are usually expensive. So I wound up getting it on a Monday, which is kind of rare. So that's the route I'm going to take is basically fly out of Spokane into Chicago and then head on down on the South Shore line to South Bend, Indiana to pick up my next run.
Gotcha. Now, you were talking about how far out from Spokane are you now?
Right now, I could tell you exactly how far out I am. I have the map open, actually. I am 1,243 miles outside of Spokane.
And you're
taking my time.
Yeah, I got you. Your flight leaves Monday, Tuesday. When was it?
Monday night.
Monday night, yeah. So you'll make it in time there, rolling in that box truck. You know, you were talking about the logistics of it. Tell us, what are some of the best fares you've been able to find since you've been doing this? I believe you've been with us for a little more than 2 years.
That's correct. Well, I've been doing this for 8 years. So, I mean, if you're a Driveaway driver and you really pay attention to what you do, you'll really, I mean, you could start your own travel agency, basically. I mean, if you know how to navigate around the country, if you're not too particular about your airlines, Frontier Airline put out a Go Wild Pass not too long ago, and I had that for about a year, and it was very, very cost effective. You paid $600 for the whole year, and your flights are anywhere from $24 to $15. If you're okay with connecting and laying over, that's your best bet. Is to save some money, because everything is on you. I mean, every Driveaway driver knows that the expenses are all on the driver. So it's very important to kind of isolate, the cheapest airfares, trains, anywhere you're going across the country. It's always good to have that in your toolbox. So basically, I use a few different types of Priceline, obviously one way. Go Wild, the Go Wild Pass for Frontier Airlines works, and then places that you can't get Frontier Airline, you have to use alternative airlines like American or United, Delta. So this particular situation, I'm using the United airfare to get out of Spokane.
Gotcha. Yeah, we've heard some other drivers talk about that Go Wild package. Would you recommend it?
I recommend it 100%, definitely.
Gotcha.
Makes complete economical sense.
Yeah, the only downside's the layover, but I mean, when you're getting a fare for $24, there's that's a steal.
Yeah, it's nothing to talk about.
Absolutely. Now we're talking about logistics. I'm gonna brag on you here, praise you, Peter, for a moment here. You're listening to Peter Rizzo on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Peter is one of our non-CDL drivers. He's been doing this, as you just heard, if you're joining us, for 8 years, 2 years with us, and drives a lot of box trucks all over the country, and he does it well. Let me run down some stats for you that we looked up before we got rolling here. In 2+ years with us right now, this month, September, 100% on time month to date. You've been on time 100%, and we're edging into mid-September right now. So, Peter, that's great. I didn't know if you were aware of that.
Actually, no, I wasn't. That's great. Wow. That's a shocker to me.
100% on time this month.
That's great. Wow.
And it's not an anomaly because for the quarter, your percentage on time is 92% on time. I'm sure that makes you feel good. It certainly makes us feel good.
Oh yeah, it's important to get picked up and drop off on time. It benefits the company and it benefits the customer. That's the most important part of the job is to try to keep your times accurate when you're delivering. So,
what's your advice to staying on time, keeping on time, or secrets, keys to the trade for other drivers listening here?
Well, you really, it's Driveaway 101, basically. I mean, you have to plan your route. I mean, if you plan your route the right way, check the weather reports. I use Google Maps. I think Google Maps is the best one. And they're the first mapping company really out there other than MapQuest back in the day. So they have it all down. There's nothing really, you just check the weather, check your routes. Look for those storms coming across, especially now that it's getting into the winter months, the early fall out in the Midwest, you start to see snow earlier. Just kind of plan ahead and just really pay attention to what's going on. Road construction. You could see all that on Google Maps. If you turn on all the different filter sections, you can see, where all the construction is and plan your route accordingly. And what I found, what's really important, especially in the winter months, is if you see a storm coming up and you're going through, say, Colorado, you can always plan alternate routes to go around the storms. If you follow the track of the storm and you see like you see Montana, for instance, there's no snow, and you can get off the interstate, like say 70, and get onto a northern route and go around the storm, say in Montana, and then come back around again. It might put a couple extra hours on your trip, but it'll be a safer route for you. You can get around the storm instead of having to camp out on the side of the road for a night until they plow the roads. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's something that's really important.
Have you ever been caught in a storm?
Oh, I can't even tell you how many times, but I'm from the north, in New York. So I'm very good at driving in the snow. So I've never had a problem driving in the snow, knock on wood.
Gotcha. But of course, obviously it's your preference to, as you were talking about there, to navigate around that storm and not get stuck on the road for a day.
Sure. I mean, sometimes it's unavoidable. You just can't help it.
Gotcha. Now, running down some more of your stats here, 100% check-in and 89% completion. So you check all the boxes.
I try to. I do love those, 6 o'clock in the morning check-in alerts from Norton every once in a while. So, I always make sure I check in when I hear the alarm go up on my phone. So it's always fun.
Of course, there's an incentive in there for you too for hitting all those benchmarks, which puts a little more pad in your wallet.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Now, right now, you're averaging 6,645 miles a month, so you're no stranger to being on the road.
No, not at all. I'm a road warrior, so I enjoy driving actually. So it's kind of it's interesting. Some people are like, "How do you do it? How do you drive so much?" I'm like, "Well, I love to drive. I pull over at certain observation points and take some pictures, and I post them onto my Facebook page so my family could see what I'm doing. So it's a lot of, it's fun for me. It's relaxing. I'm by myself. I don't have anybody to worry about but myself. So it's always interesting.
You're listening to Peter Rizzo here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Now, Peter is a non-CDL driver, drives a lot, as we just stated, 6,645 miles this month, or miles a month, rather, is his average. He hasn't done that many so far this month, but that's what he averages in a month. And, Peter, you came recommended to us internally from our safety director, Renee Deering. She shared with me, she said, you should talk to Peter Rizzo because for her, it's something that warms the cockles of her heart. You had a clean inspection. Tell us about that clean inspection and what it means to you.
Well, I think it's important to always have, your ducks in a row when you're traveling. Obviously, you don't want to get that, you don't want to get pulled over by a DOT inspector or a state trooper and go through an inspection and have a mistake, because obviously it dings your record and it also dings the company. But yeah, it was a great inspection I had last month. Actually, this month, excuse me. It was state trooper was in Pennsylvania. State trooper was great. Asked me some questions, gave him all my information, showed him my packets, showed him my log sheets, presented my log through Motive, checked everything, did an inspection on the truck, and everything was good to go.
That's
good
awesome.
Experience.
That's awesome, Peter. And talk about you touched on it there, but kind of let's peel the onion back a little bit. Advice for a driver of the consequences you're going to face if you don't have a clean inspection. It's going to slow you down time and short term and long term.
Correct. Yes. And obviously there's potential for fines as well, which always comes back to the driver, because it's your responsibility overall to make sure that your truck is good to go. Obviously, when you get on the road. Yeah, I mean, it's I can tell you that if you get pulled over, don't freak out. A lot of people, especially new drivers, they'll freak out and they'll think that they did something wrong when it's just a regular inspection. And usually at the end of the month is when they hit you hard on inspections, and they just pull people over left and right, because they have a certain amount of inspections they have to do a month, and they usually wait till the end to do them. But yeah, it's just listen to what he says. Don't be argumentative. Respond respectfully, and it's not personal. He doesn't make the laws; he just enforces the laws. So
that's great advice from Peter Rizzo. Great advice from Peter Rizzo. And now you had talked to us. You've been doing this for about 8 years. Now, how did you fall? How did you fall into Driveaway? You were telling me before we got on the show about how you fell into it, and it was kind of a natural progression. But walk us through it. Yeah,
it was actually it was an interesting. So at one point, I was bored and I signed up for Uber and Lyft, and I was driving Lyft for a while, and I kept picking up these ladies from a Driveaway company where I would pick them up and I would drop them off at a Thomas Bus location. Numerous times I would get them from the airport where I live locally in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I said to them, hey, so, where are you going? What do you guys do? And she said, well, we deliver brand new trucks and school buses all over the country. And then we come back and pick them up and drive them somewhere. I said, really? I said, are they hiring? And they said, yeah, the office is right up the street from where I dropped them off, Thomas Bus. And I said, okay, I appreciate the information. So about 3 or 4 days later, I was delivering box trucks all over the country.
I haven't looked back since.
I haven't looked back since. Yeah, that's correct.
Now, what led you to Norton? Because I know, and we appreciate you not naming the other company you were with, but what led you to Norton?
It was a natural progression, from picking up vehicles at different locations. You get to meet drivers from other companies, and all the Driveaway drivers talk, so everybody knows what's going on in the business usually. And I just asked a couple questions. I said, hey, how's it like working for Norton? And they said it was great. They had good experience. And I said, if they're hiring, and they said, yeah, give them a call. And I went onto the website, gave you guys a call, filled out the necessary information. And then, I think it was within, let's say, 3 weeks, I guess, between signing up, orientation, and getting all the paperwork together. I think it was within 3 weeks I was working for you guys.
That's
so
awesome.
It was great.
Man.
Great
awesome.
Experience.
We love having drivers like you. Peter Rizzo here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Now, Peter, tell us, you've driven for some companies with high national recognition, being on a non-CDL box truck. Tell us some of the trucks you've delivered for different companies.
Let's see. So minibuses, Thomas Bus minibuses. I live right by the manufacturing facility. Not too far. About 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away. Also, I live near a company called Mickey Body, who builds a lot of the Penske box trucks and does a lot of the Coca-Cola beverage trucks, beer trucks, all different types of vehicles, Red Bull, you name it. And I used to deliver pretty much any type of a non-CDL vehicle that you could possibly imagine. I've delivered over the last 8 years.
That's awesome. Peter Rizzo, we thank you so much for joining us here on the Six Figure Trucker, brought to you by Norton Transport. Peter's been with us again for 2 years. Got great stats behind him. Checks all the boxes. We love drivers like Peter, and we certainly appreciate you joining us. And we're going to hear from Peter next week as well about some of his experiences before Driveaway, and we'll just kind of give you a hint. It was a period that Peter experienced in one of the darkest times in our nation's history. Peter, we appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to hearing from you next week as well.
I really appreciate you having me, and you have a great day. Thank you.
Six Figure Trucker is brought to you by Norton Transport. Norton Transport is a drive-away trucking company that customers can rely on. It offers excellent independent contract driving opportunities to professional, courteous, and qualified drivers that can provide the kind of service we deliver. If you're interested in learning more about Norton or just want to subscribe to the show, check out 6-figuretrucker.com. That's 6-figuretrucker.com.